is there a contradiction at all, or there is none between this yoga and bhog?
Well, well, certain people think either yoga or the spiritual process or spirituality is some kind of a disability. That's their understanding, unfortunately. If spirituality is a disability, we should ban it immediately. Why practice a disability? Spirituality is a way of empowering yourself in such a way that we can enhance life to a point where other people will think it's superhuman. If one doesn't do this, then if they're not in yoga, in my understanding, they're just not interested in life, they're waiting for death. They may not realize that consciously, but that's exactly the situation, because they're letting time go by without enhancing their energies, because the only way you can enhance your life is this, not by accumulations. By accumulations, your life is not enhanced. Maybe in other people's eyes you're enhanced. As a life, you are no way enhanced. Only by enhancing your energy, only by having mastery over this, do you have access and purchase into this life, because time is not in your hands, it's just rolling away for everybody. This is something that's going on. Wherever I go, people are asking this question, yogi is doing business, is it all right? Well, this is a rags to riches story, but still consciously remains in rags. How many people can do this? Huh? It's a total rags to riches story, but consciously remains in rags. That's not a simple story. We're missing the whole point. Sannyas means indiscriminate passion towards everything, but dispassion towards myself. If you have dispassion towards everybody, I think that's a crime. You don't care a damn about anybody, that is not sannyas, that's a crime. Indiscriminate passion towards everything and everybody, but dispassion towards myself, this is sannyas, not the other way around.
So you don't think, Sadhguru, that the yoga people were consuming was a kind of a pack… Before Baba Ramdev started his movement, the yoga which we knew about was a packaged yoga.
See,
It was kind of following the marketing principle of 3 days workshop and feeling that I have become a yogi.
There used to be an advertisement in California in the 60s. The advertisement goes like this, enlightenment. If you go to India, it'll take 12 years. Here, 30 minutes, $50, you can get enlightened, all right? So India's package was 12 years at one time. Ask any of them, if either Baba or me packages yoga, 12-year package for you, is there any takers here? This means they will negotiate with me. So, if you do not offer something that works in the times in which you live, you're a bloody fool, you're not a yogi, all right? So, packaging is not because of our needs. Packaging is looking at the society, how they are today and what they can consume, what they can make use of. If I say my yoga is 12-year package, well, I will be the only one doing yoga. Well, today we've gotten people who are willing to do yoga for a lifetime. That is after some time, but initially how? So initial programs may be a weekend, but does it mean to say yoga will stop in a weekend? No. There are people who have dedicated their life to it, thousands of people. Not thousands, now it's running into millions. Millions of people dedicated for life. But on first day, if I tell them you have to dedicate your life to yoga and nothing else but yoga, you think there is anybody? So there is something called as upaya.
Another question which comes up is spirituality for privileged class and dharma for masses? क्या धर्म masses की चीज है और spirituality जो है वो elite और privileged class की चीज है? Do you think that linking yoga with a religion it should be agnostic?
See, we need to understand this. This idea of a sectarian religion is an imported idea for us. We've still not come to terms with it. Because in this culture, We had no religion. We never had and we still don't have. We're trying to pretend we have, but we're struggling with it. Because religion means the fundamental definition. The requirement for you to be religious is, you must believe something. You must have a set of few beliefs, 5, 10, whatever. Spiritual process means you're a seeker. You're a seeker means the fundamental qualification is you have realized that you do not know a whole lot of things about life. You are at least straight with life. What you do not know, you are seeing as I do not know, that's how you become a seeker. Whatever you do not know, you make up one story and believe in it, that is religion. That is not the nature of our nation. This nation is a land of seekers. Even when so-called divine entities came, they could not give us commandments of any kind. All they got is questions. Shiva opened his mouth to his beloved wife she freaks him with questions. Krishna, after many years of waiting with somebody who is very intimate friend, at the edge of a battlefield tries to say something, that guy has 100 questions. Tell me, who has been able to give a commandment and say, this is it? That is not our nation. Here, we are a land of seekers. We identify, we understand the intelligence of ignorance. We understand, I do not know is the greatest possibility in our lives. The moment we see I do not know, the longing to know, the seeking to know and the possibility of knowing becomes a living reality in our lives. But if you destroy I do not know with a set of belief systems, that is what you call as religion. We don't know what that is. You're talking about in the rural areas or in the underprivileged people, they are more, religious than spiritual. You do one thing, I'm sure you've been, if I go to any village, remote villages, people come there and they don't ask, give me a golden horse or something, never. They'll say, "Ayya, mukti kudungaya." First thing they say, I want liberation. Is this spiritual or religious, I'm asking? You just go to any village, talk to people, if somebody looks like me, they'll say, we want mukti. They want freedom. They want freedom from everything. They don't want a ticket to heaven. They don't want to go and sit in God's lap. They don't want pleasures up there. They want liberation. This is the spiritual process. The entire country is soaked in it. Now we are systematically trying to destroy this, unfortunately. But the real ethos of this nation is we are a land of seekers. We must keep it that way, because in seeking there is no conflict. Only in believing there is a conflict. The moment you believe one thing and I believe something else, we've already started the conflict. Why this criticism? Because we've never been shy of criticism. We thought criticism means we are getting help from other people's intelligence of things that we have missed out. But now the criticism is a very malicious criticism. It's not of doubt, it's of suspicion. Doubt is a very positive thing, doubt is a very healthy thing, without this we will not grow. But right now, everything is suspicious, anything that's Indian is suspicious. Well, this is a very sick kind of situation. But criticism is not come to us new, we have encouraged it. We always encourage doubt, we always encourage questioning. Questioning is… we are not averse to questioning. There are many ways to deal with questions. Even the divine entities, as I said, they were asked questions and questions, they answered elaborately. But in various cultures, they have found other way to answer questions. Just kill the questioner and the question is gone. When you speak to somebody, whoever it is, if you speak to a child, you speak one kind of language. If you speak to an adolescent, you speak one kind of language. You speak to a more mature person, you speak another kind of language. Why? Because the fundamental of communication is to communicate, to touch the other person. So you approach the other person where he or she is. You don't talk something over their heads, what is the point of that kind of talking? Well, when we're talking to larger crowds, we are trying to logically explain and give them references to so-called science which keeps changing every 2 years. But there's a whole lot of other group. I don't do anything, if I just go sit there and close my eyes, they will all burst. Not a word is said. So, not everybody is spoken to the same way, because the purpose of speech is to communicate, and what is the point of speaking in a way that nobody understands?
Sadhguru, आप say the same.
Well, if you say बीज में सब कुछ लिखा है, unknowingly we're becoming racist, casteist, because this is what they've been propagating. Your very seed is right or wrong. The significance of being human, the significance of being human is this: for every other creature on this planet, nature has drawn two lines within which they must live and die. Their entire life process is within those two lines. The significance of becoming human, evolving to becoming a human being means the top line has been removed. Only the baseline is there, top line is not there. You could become whatever you want. To an extent, which if people who think they're scientific, they can come and study if they wish. We will do certain things with people where the genetic characteristics that are there in them, within a matter of few days or weeks, you will see genetically they are a completely different people. This is what sannyas means actually. When somebody takes sannyas, one thing they do is, even if the parents are alive, they will do karmas to distance themselves from genetic memory. So the very genetic structure of who we are can be altered. So बीज में सब कुछ नहीं लिखा है.
But you can program a beach today. You can program
Yes,
that also.
that is not the point. The point is, once you have become human, you have transformed, this life has transformed from just being a physical entity for which there may be a seed as a source, to, for us, for an animal, this body is everything. For a human being, this body is just a platform upon which we can play the game. So what kind of game is entirely decided by us and nobody but us. This is why this culture, forever, this must be understood. This is not a culture which believed there is a manager sitting up there and managing your life. This is a culture which always told you your life is your karma. Your life is your karma means your life is your making, entirely your making. The way you are living, the way you're breathing, the way you're existing, the way your destiny shapes up is entirely your making. This is the power of yoga, this is the power of spiritual process, that you, instead of being an accidental being, you become a conscious being and create your life and destiny the way you want it.
Sadhguru, which Babaji touched upon, the fact that when something like Pulwama happens, I think initially we have a lot of outrage against it, and gradually, from being victims, we start feeling guilty or an oppressor. And a lot of complexities come in, and it seems a very fuzzy view after that, and a nation feels very confused what should be their reaction to terror. You know, is it that India has survived for so long as a civilization that we have become very convenient? Have we become convenient as a civilization to take a decision? Have we lost a certain spine to… and we always calculate that somehow I should survive, somehow… but I should not take a stand what right or wrong, or I should not declare my intent. Is it that we discuss too much and we can never take a resolve? Either ways, whichever way we feel, it should be the right way. And to your mind, what is the solution if that is the state of India today and the complexities which we live in? So what would be the solution in the case of a terror attack like this, where we have an outrage in the beginning and then we start from victim, we start feeling guilty? What is this syndrome?
Say, the problem is right now, you're referring to… we're taking Pulwama as an example, you're calling this terror. But I want you to understand this. This is a planned agenda. This is not terror as far as they are concerned. They are trying to fulfill… they are trying to fulfill their goals in a very planned way. They did not even keep it a secret. They told you, we will bleed you with 1,000 cuts. So it is not terror, it is an agenda that they're fulfilling. They're doing what they believe is the right thing to do. Because if somebody is willing to die for something, obviously they believe strongly enough to die for it. So they're doing what they believe is the right thing to do. Now, from your standpoint, are you doing the right thing that is good for this nation is something you must decide. There is no need to get excited about this, there is no need to… you just get some satisfaction by labeling somebody a terrorist. I want you to understand, somebody is working, life or death, they are working for their agenda. What the hell is your agenda? Spell it out to yourself and act upon that.
But what is it?
Well, for over a century, we fought for the independence of this nation. To make this nation free, we worked for over a century. A lot of life was sacrificed. Due to lack of vision, we sacrificed many more after we got our independence in the name of partition. Now, with one partition, you have seen 1 million people, over 1 million people dead and over 15 million people crossing borders from both sides, suffering. Human suffering is human suffering for me. It doesn't matter which side it's happened. So people have suffered, and in 70 years, still a whole lot of them are still not even settled on both sides of the border. And how is it that we have such a short sense of memory that we can once again talk of another break? So we must decide this. In my heart is very clear. First one thing is, make it clear to all the Indians what is India and what is not India. Please do this. Don't keep the ambiguity continuing forever. Just 100%, this is our country, this is not our country, let us focus on what we need to do for the well-being of these people, rather than going on endlessly debating, where is the border? How long will you debate? 2 generations of people are gone after independence and still you're debating the same thing. This is the time. If nation's consciousness is somehow awakened because of a shocking incident, please make up your mind now and work for that goal, because the sovereignty of the nation is important. For me, within my heart, well, it would be fantastic if we lived here as global citizens and we're capable of embracing each other and living here wonderfully, that would be fantastic.
What would be your message to the government?
I'll come. But we have not come there. Still, nation is the largest human entity you can address. If you want to address human well-being, you can only address it as a nation. You cannot address it as a globe. We don't have the mechanics to do such a thing. So, this nation, over 1.3 billion people, is a world by itself. So if we want to take these people towards fulfillment of their lives in this generation, the most important thing is we decide in terms of geography what is our nation, what is not our nation, and what do we stand for this. So protecting this is our business and our duty. Unfortunately, if cruel things happen, they happen. It is not our intent. I am not even talking about retribution, revenge, no, this is not our nature. But solution for this nation is important. That people of this nation can prosper is an important duty that the leaders of this nation owe to every citizen in this country. For that, it is very important that our borders are quiet, because the service and sacrifice of our soldiers is the basis. It is upon that foundation that you write your poetry, I do my spirituality, he does his yoga, somebody does his business. For all this, the basic foundation is the stable situation in the country. If we don't create that, we are failing in our fundamental duty, we are not being peaceful, we are just being naive.
All right, thank you.